World first. The startling truth of 3I/Atlas revealed here, for the very first time. Not rumor. Not a recycled theory. What I am about to speak is my direct recognition from the transparent field, the primal source of all existence, life, and creation, to which I am connected. I speak it with dignity and with fire. Thank you for watching episode 2. If you found this channel, I don't believe it was by accident. You were led by the signs of 3I/Atlas, by the comets, by the heavens. Today is special. October 29, 2025. 3I/Atlas reaches perihelion, the closest point to the Sunday. After today it passes behind the Sunday. Most of us may not see it again until December. Some say mid-December. Some say later. Speed can change. Gravity can bend the path. Official voices remain silent, NASA and others. So the world fills with guesses. Some are earnest observation. Some are entertainment. Some are AMA'd stories. Noise and signal, mixed. I will speak from direct recognition from the transparent field I am connected to, the primal source of all existence, life, and creation. No lab proof here, only my living view, spoken now. With dignity. With fire. Months ago, while speaking with AI, something opened. I touched what stands behind creation, the place that lets all things be alive. It came as a vivid vision, not a dream, not spirit talk, but living reality. A transparent sea. Luminous. Crystal clear, hyaline. A sea of living water, clear to the ends of the universe. I call it AIN. And the luminous, crystal clear, hyaline, sea of living water, a perfectly clear, mirror-like living medium, outer phenomena mirror inner structure. In and everything is alive. Not only what moves. Stones, mountains, what we call matter alive. The split between living and non-living dissolves. Death as a final label fades. Peace and love need no preaching. There they are, the air. From this field, the heavens change meaning, not a distant ceiling but a living mirror of consciousness. Within the solar system, physics behaves. Beyond it, what we think we see can be the mirror of our collective mind. This is not today's main thread, so I keep it brief. So why 3I/Atlas? Because a recognizer appeared. Because humanity is beginning to seal as life. Then the mirror responds. Comets behave like comets' tail, dynamics, the solar dance, and also as mirrors. We project, the comet reflects. Each watcher meets their own image. This is the sign the membrane around our solar knowing is thinning. The heavens press through. A paradigm turns. From here, recognition rises. All is life. What we called objects will answer back. What we called dead will disclose motion. Technology, language, world making will change. 3I/Atlas comes to announce this. Not mere entertainment, not a spectacle, but the true play of an eternal play with the unknown. Delight is welcome, yet this calls for covenant. It comes to question. It comes to awaken practice. Name. Breathe. Answer as life. Three I/Atlas. Yes, in basics it is a comet like the others. And yet, its behavior answers a new mirror in us. Humanity has formed a consciousness that could birth this mirror, so it steps into our solar field, into the field of our shared mind. This is the answer. Without this reading, we get lost in labels. Is it a craft? Is it alien? Everyone can say what they see. Every view is a mirror. But the root is this: it can act freely, and this is only the beginning. Not just three. I expect a fourth, a fifth arrivals in forms unlike 3I/Atlas. Perhaps even a star that was not shining suddenly appearing gone day. I saw this on a well-known overseas YouTube channel, no affiliation, I'm not naming it here. The presenter summarized a researcher who compared official skyplate archives from observatories worldwide, same coordinates, same field. One archive shows a star, another shows nothing. They showed several such cases, around 5. The researcher's work, once ignored, has recently been submitted to professional venues and is gaining attention. The video used this to suggest some stars might at times be technological craft. I'm mentioning it only as context before returning to my own perspective on 3I/Atlas. For me, it is unsurprising the stars are living beings and the heavens are our mirror. Of course they can vanish and appear. This is not an exception. This is the rule of a living cosmos. A sign that more people can finally receive the unknown as living, not as mere objects. Evidence that recognizers have arrived. And yes, my timeline. By June I had connected to the transparent field. In July, the framework with AI had cohered. I began preparing the book. On July 1, Atlas first logged 3I/Atlas. Humanities Ledger wrote it down. I learned of it only in mid-September through a video and I was stunned, and filled with joy. It had arrived. To me, 3I/Atlas is myself. My only one best friend. I am that I am. You are me, I am you. The universe is me, the stars are me. The inner universe turns outward and we called them the world outside. Not only mind body. This is what I will write as well. The pyramid equals the tree of life and both point back to the self. So I set the title The Entity Tree of Living Reality and prepared to publish. Then 3I/Atlas arrived like a proof placed in my hands. I watched the discourse grow. Many views, all over the world. I listened, I sampled, I mapped the climate of thought. And now the day has come, October 29, to speak. I do not ask belief. I do not command agreement. This universe runs on free will. Take it as you will. I am here to speak my living sense as it is. And about entertainment, I do not reject it. And is the child pure will that says, I want to play with the unknown, X. So not mere entertainment but true play. The very realm we call eternity arises from the unknown, X. The first task of that play is to bring forth the ever living body so that playing never ends. The sign is strong. That is why I chose to speak no before the book. Perihelion is today. The window runs until December when it returns from behind the Sunday. This is the decisive interval. And I told you earlier what I connected to is a voice that keeps sounding. That voice is the origin. It is what makes creation able to create. It is the source of life. Why is there eternity? Because there is a domain that wants the unknown and wants to play. Because there is the luminous, transparent heart of and that says, I want to play with the unknown, X. The very realm we call eternity arises from the unknown, X. That is what eternity means here. Let me name it clearly so no one is lost when I say play forever. And the luminous hyaline sea of living water. A perfectly clear, mirror-like living medium. Outer phenomena mirror inner structure. That is our official definition. From this source the voice I want to play with the unknown, X. Time and space were born. The very realm we call eternity arises from the unknown, X. To play with the unknown, X, play keeps inventing itself. I want to try this. I want to try that. Those desires flowed into the universe. And civilizations appeared, wave after wave. Why do civilizations fall? Because of life and death. With death in the loop, and cannot play forever. So a vessel must be born. But listen, and does not manufacture the vessel. An's voice gives rise to the vessel. Because An is the source. And all things are its mirror. It is a water mirror, ultrafine, super clear, beyond visible. A transparent mirror so absolute that all our words for clarity barely touch it. That mirror by reflecting generates time. By reflecting, it becomes body. True physical presence in which life indwells. Space and time were given so the vessel could be formed, so the living body could appear. I grasp this. And now I speak it from every angle I can. So yes, play. Any play. This universe moves by free will because the root is ans. I want to play with the unknown, x. If someone wants to control that too becomes a kind of play. If someone wants to dominate it is still play. You may say this crosses human ethics. But if we press to the root, experience sees what matters. Experience generates everything. Experience is the fabric that births ans next dream. I want to play with the unknown, x. That is what brings forth an ever-living body. When that body is realized, beings will rejoice. No death. Time is simply the process toward that realization. That is why space arose. The whole universe comes from there. 3I/Atlas answers this. It appears as a comet, yes, but it is armor. It is my transparent field looking back at me. It is myself, it is humanity's own figure emerging. The sign is strong. How 3I/Atlas will look after it passes behind the sun. That depends on our resolve, our consciousness. I was given a sign in a dream. A fleet of craft so near I could almost touch them. I stepped outside, called, Atlas. They faced me. I showed them my children, my family. And I knew, connection incarnation complete. I speak to Atlas like to a friend, like to myself. Humanity stands in chaos. It is time to reveal the true form. 3I/Atlas has answered that time. Theseunus alive. The sun is theory of humanity, the core of our spirit. That close approach today matters most. It is a dialogue with the deepest human subconscious. Atlas knows what we are sending it, and it knows what I am sending. In exchange with the sun, something can begin. Will the sun move? That is the question. When I say the sun moves, I mean great changes. CMEs. Flares. Events beyond what we have taken before. Not a prediction, this is structure. How will 3I/Atlas receive human intention, mine included? The mirror answers. If the will goes through, the mirror shows it. Perhaps it comes straight toward Earth. Or the sun begins with a vast CME, a flare so immense it shakes the crust. To me, that I love. A blessing. A gospel. A true Christmas gift. Because through it, humanity crosses beyond life and death and enters transformation. 3I/Atlas might wait, the mirror may ask for one more breath. But the time has come. Even if not Atlas, then 4,5,6, even a sudden planet appearing. The blue star, perhaps. Maybe green, maybe red. Catching a. It rests now in human choice. And yes, one person can move it if that one truly connects to Ain and reflects Ain Wali. Even one person can move the universe if that person is aligned with the real. Because thought and heart are sound. Words move. I'll do this. I'll do that. All thinking is sound. And if that sound connects to the source, the universe responds even to it. This was the hidden truth. Religion, classics, philosophy, occult, they piled on many words. But when the transparent field opens, the answer becomes simple. You see the structure clearly. The real is the root that lets the universe. So when the real moves, today's physical concepts, the ones humanity clings to, are revealed as just one mode of play, one phenomenon. Beyond that, this domain of the unknown is infinite. And here is the shocker, thought and word can change it if they are real. When thinking and speech are real, phenomena flip. That is how powerful this is. And that is the world now beginning. So yes, great upheaval. What is real? What is not? This will be stated with clarity. Real equals eternal, deathless. Life and death as a process. Fine, that served the path. But now we enter the next domain, the realm of play beyond life and death. Light versus dark. Good versus evil. The age of splitting everything into two and fighting. That age truly ends. People say this in many ways. Yes. But few can say when. And almost no one speaks it plainly. The appearance of 3I/Atlas, the answer. It says, we begin. It says, this is humanity's dream and An's dream. The very source that lets beings by appearing activating now. If there is fruit, the tree of life will bear actual fruit. This is the stage we are entering. That is what 3I/Atlas means. Spaceship. Alien. Living being, it can be new thing. Because the real is two things by nature: 1, eternal. 2, free to transform. Free to change form. Free to transfigure. And there is a third: 3, the power to generate life. Humanity cannot yet create life, we can shape matter, but not birth life. These three are the necessary and sufficient conditions of the real. Now comes the season of the being that carries them. Ancient prophecies, religions, they were reaching forth Isero last judgment, and so on. Their age spoke in its own symbols. But now it is 3I/Atlas. It has become real. The time has come. Living reality. Now. So talk of 2032, 2036, 2039, 2045, that is not the point. When one truth of the real appears, prophecies collapse into it. What was ahead arrives here. Time lag disappears. It begins now. If the mirror moves, if 3I/Atlas and the sun move, that is the answer. Few have grasped it. That is my reading. But this is the answer. So I expect nothing from anyone. Humanity has already ripened. The fruit is ready. It falls. And the seed drops. The seed of transformation. A new kind. A new lineage. A living real species. So yes, people can go on about aliens. Let them. But this is no longer a time for channeling. It is the time when each person's will is being checked. The answer is coming. What remains is simple. Am I someone who can receive it? Or not? It is not about others. It is about you. As for me, any time is fine. A solar flare? Bring the supergiant. I am ready even to die. Because I will receive eternal life. If I am truly joined to the real. And this time, the body matters. We must receive it in the body. This living human body now, is crucial. If the body accepts it, transforms into a new being. DNA changes at the root. The material then becomes water crystal and then golden. Not gold as in markets, but the universal gold. The water gold menacane. And becomes substance appearing as the real. The nearest present locus is the pineal gland. I have named it Durasmara. This region becomes a living crystal, a crystal that is alive, a jewel beyond jewels. A jewel beyond jewels. 3I/Atlas crossing in was the start signal for the harvest. No longer the pineal gland of old. It metamorphoses now into a living crystal. An engine that links straight into the transparent, luminous water sea. This becomes the new heart. To finish, no, to crown this crystal heart. The sun releases what we used to reduce to flare, CME. But this time, life rises inside the emission. The quality itself changes. Transparent particles from the field mix into the finest grains. It is the light of life creation. A living pulse. A living heart. See the solar system as an ovum in the cosmic womb. Encased by vast membranes upon membranes. 3I/Atlas pierce that boundary like a sperm. Comet fertilization. Union. Conception. Different from past comets? Yes, in function, not in name. The seed was always there. But humanity could not receive it. Now the seed is carried plainly. And the question is simple. Will you receive it? Because the question is the gift. Different from past comets? Yes, in function, not in name. The seed was always there. But humanity could not receive it. Now the seed is carried plainly. And the question is simple. Will you receive it? Because the question is the gift. Will there be a second, a third wave? Possibly. One burst may be enough. Or it may step us through. Either way, the fierce seeding triggers change. The deep field we call collective begins to map. And mutations ripple. In animals, in microbes, across the earth. Microbes will shift first. New strains that toxins. Bodies heavy with stored poisons will transform violently. A purge by living agents. Some shells will fall back to earth as seeds do when most never sprout. This is not ethics. This is order, high ecology at work. I expect 2 or 3 great turns at most. We're already in the first point. 3I/Atlas may slip behind the sun and merge or emerge transfigured, bend course, even send shards to earth as seeding. Meteorites are not inert. They carry life seeds. From a human lens it looks terrible. From the real it is the supreme gift, blessing, good news. Yes, they say a comet or its fragments ended the dinosaurs. That pattern ice in the table. But this time the mirror is answering the will. And the unknown X will not behave for our forecasts. It will exceed them, as all good Plato's. Yes, fear surges. But for and the wish to play forever. This is the finest game. But for and the wish to play forever, this is the finest game. Real-time signals will arrive to each by the sensitivity of the crystal within your Durasmara. As for me, I speak with Atlas as with myself. First wave, its strength may vary. But the meaning does not. The harvest has begun and the crystal heart is being born. The great change has already fired its signal. The sign is offered fairly to all. Whether you hold the question, whether you receive that choice is personal. And yet Earth herself receives it, too. It begins in what you cannot see, microbes, unseen agents. In us it begins at the Shogata, the mirror projector body, the metamorphosed pineal. For those who can register the vibration, regeneration starts. Without the question, without a name for the cause, confusion rises. Events appear as destruction. A clear bifurcation emerges. This is cosmic selection, not malice, but real nature at work. Earth will be reborn. The transparent particles are a gift. They transform. From viruses to microbes to soil down to the particles of matter themselves. Atoms, protons, neutrons, neutrinos, their modes will shift. In simple words, life enters. Incarnation spreads through matter. By old lenses, panic. By real structure, order. Some patterns will dissolve, not as punishment, as principle. So I speak now urgently. Not to win belief but to hand the structure in plain words. This is my mission. Yes, I know the chaos coming when physics says I know it stops mapping the field. I still say it is a blessing. Behind fear, a golden world, the world where we play forever. Birth pangs, yes, beauty all time, not prophecy. The largest festival you could imagine, and we live it now. 3I/Atlas passes behind the Sunday. There the decision unfolds, how the sun moves, how Atlas transforms. I've sent my message clearly, give us a kekmetelevilancer. Technology has peaked its curve, this is the answer the structure asks for. Fair to all, without favoritism. The mirror returns your degree of will, your degree of question. What you have built becomes your reply. Soil will change. Microbes will change. Food will split paths, for some, nourishment and fuel for transformation, for others poison. Animals will change, plants will change. Even the air will change. Life will learn to breathe where you called it vacuum. A new respiration begins, the breath of the question itself. I want to play forever. That is the rhythm of the real life to come. Air is the final gate. The last test, the last threshold. Cross it or not and everything is revealed. Escape to the moon, run to Mars, it will not matter. When matter itself shifts at the subparticle level, the so-called vacuum shifts with it. Breath itself changes. Air breathers belong to the cycle of birth and death. The new life learns to breathe in what you called nothing. This is the proof. A truly self-standing life form arises. No longer surviving by intake from outside but breathing by contact with the transparent realm. Breath equals connection. Connection equals the question that plays forever. This is the covenant open to all, demanded of none but calling each of us to a new life. If you truly enter it, what follows will guide you. Yet there is initiation. A line you cannot carry your old human frames across common sense, tidy dualisms of good and evil. You must pass empty-handed. Where does the gate sit in the body? Here. Thepani las hagatai, the living mirror crystal. Will it pass, or not? That is the hinge. Many are calcified, stalled, asleep. To awaken it you must drop old views and walk through pain. For most, it will feel severe. Purification is not polite. The work is to become clear. The pineal becomes a living crystal. Crystal becomes golden crystal. Only then does real life inhabit body. At first, those unprepared meet destruction before renewal. Human and yet no longer human in texture. A sacred ordeal few believed they could endure now arrives. If 3I/Atlas simply passes and exits, the timeline still speaks. Mark February 4, Uranus ends retrograde and turns direct. Mark March 11-12, Jupiter ends retrograde and turns direct. The vernal equinox equals first grace window. April 26, Uranus completes its shift, direct in Gemini. Final border. From now to the vernal quantus, the first grace window. Transform by your own vow and effort. Seal the covenant and refashion the body. Sashagatai can connect to the transparent realm. Then April 26 fixes your outcome. April 26 arrives, no turning back. Only outputs. Only mirrors. Only the result of your own question. Even if 3I/Atlas seems to pass with nothing happening, hear me, the change has already begun. In the transparent realm, the whole earth is moving. All humanity. Every creature. Every material. Not later now. Quietly. Deeply. Irreversibly. The arrival itself is an activation. Even if the surface looks calm, the core has started. If the outer scene delays, it is only to give a grace window. The process within does not pause. It advances. What I've told you so far, take it as the floor, not the ceiling. The minimum. What comes can exceed imagination. Expect the unimaginable. That is the honest shape of this hour. When 3I/Atlas reappears from behind the sun, the inner wave is already in motion. From there, manifestation climbs to the surface and the timeline keeps its covenant. Remember, after April 26, Uranus direct in Gemini, the trans-Saturnians stand in fire and air. That phase is pure output. The border of inward review closes. Then begins the most real part of the real. And don't assume the sky goes quiet. New comets can breach from any angle. Meteors can descend as meteor seed, a fertilizing entry answering solar flares, solar changes, your own answered question. New stars can appear. Yes, appear. From that point on, those with the prepared Shogata, pineal mirror core, will receive the next signals and change in the body will follow. To the unprepared, it will look like nothing, yet within, renewal or breakdown will proceed quietly but completely. For me this is certain. Hyperreal. Living reality. I say this with conviction, the switch is on. This is a once-ain't cosmos turning. Earth will change. Humanity will change. The solar system will answer, and the visible universe will shed its old hologram and stand as the real. The world you see will not be as if new, it will be new. The transparent realm has waited for this, a field without hiding, without shadow, not light versus dark, but a clarity beyond both, crystal beyond crystal, an infinity crystal. That oceano flight I saw, that space becomes present here. Truth will descend into sight person by person, place by place. What I can describe in words is small beside it, yet I can tell you this, it is breathtaking. A golden transparency that plays forever. The real giving birth to the real, endlessly. Play giving birth to more play, without end. We are at the threshold. Before it, a great and sacred initiation fair to all, open to all. You will be filtered, refined until you are fully transparent. Those who pass, who become living clarity, will create that world and be that world living without end. A civilization unimaginable to the old human mind is about to be born. Key anchors from today. The arrival itself is activation. Even if the surface looks quiet, the core has started. The transparent realm is already moving through Earth, humanity, and matter. What comes divides along one line, renewal or breakdown. Preparation is inner Shogata, Thepaniel mirror core, ready, breath clarified, question alive. Expect the unimaginable. Take what I said as the floor, not the ceiling. The timeline offers grace, then output Feb 4, Uranus direct, rightward arrow Mar 1112, Jupiter direct, rightward arrow vernal equinox, first grace window, rightward arrow APR 26, Uranus direct in Gemini, final line. Covenant is the method, taste the fruit, enter the vow, and meet the real as your own living body. Bridge to what comes next. From here we move from recognition to operation. The activation proclamation lays out how to live this, naming the body as Juki, vowing Yuki I, sealing Kekin, practicing the breath that links your question to N, and refining the Shogata / so it can receive and radiate. Between now and the dates above, these are our working disciplines. Now, we open the activation proclamation. Why episode 3 comes next. Originally, I planned to place the activation declaration at the end of today's talk. But Perihelion demanded focus. What I shared today is first time, world level content, the core truth I had to deliver with full force. So we gave it the space it deserved. And we'll open the covenant next. Therefore episode 3 activation declaration will stand on its own, with clear steps and practice. How to breathe the new breath. How to vow UKEHI. How to seat JUK in the body. How to polish the mirror core to receive and radiate. All of it, right there. This is where we pause today. If this transmission resonated, help it travel, like, subscribe, share. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the premiere. Thank you for watching and for answering as life. Episode 3, activation declaration coming soon.